Are 80% enough for you? Naturally, to most of us, the answer is no, because in some way, we all aim for the 100%. But for some of us, if it's not 100% or more, we don't even get started. Welcome to Who I Am, your guided meditation podcast. My name is Jackie, and today we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, perfectionism. And perfectionism really has multiple phases, as for some it really is just a state of high quality, of meaningful goals, or even the desire for excellence. Whilst on the other hand, to some, it really is an empty shell of a word, because perfectionism is never really complete and can never fully be achieved. And then in our society, you would be surprised by the amount of people that you can find for whom perfectionism is a cage in which they freeze and being held from taking action towards their goals. Of course, I'm super curious to know which group you count yourself in. So after listening to this episode, please scroll down to the poll and share this with me. But for now, stay tuned, because I will be sharing with you 7 exercises that will help you, no matter whether you're an absolute perfectionist or you just want to tame that perfectionist inside of you, to get yourself into action mode and to unfreeze and to get started working towards your goals. Let's get an understanding of the root of perfectionism, as it oftentimes comes from a positive intention, even if it leads to stress and self-criticism. So as I was saying, the desire for excellence might be one of the roots, but also when life feels unpredictable, perfectionism can actually help you create a sense of control. And if everything is done just right, it might feel like chaos can be avoided. So your desire for control in life could be another root for perfectionism. And personally, I already have 5 people in my mind for whom perfectionism is motivation. To them, it's believing that high standards can push them to improve and succeed. And so there is the good intention for them to just reach for the high goals and to push themselves for growth and success. Validation and acceptance is a big driver too, where wanting to be accepted, appreciated, respected by others can also push people towards perfectionism. It's a way of trying to prove worthiness. And then lastly, fear of failure as a protection can be a big root for perfectionism, using it as a shield, preventing criticism, rejection, feelings of disappointment. And it's not always in the outside, but also sometimes in the inside. We just don't want to disappoint ourselves. We've got such high standards to reach for the highest and the best, and the fact that we believe if everything is perfect, nothing can go wrong. So yes, these are all good intentions, and your perfectionism is present for a reason. The reason why I want to give you 7 exercises in this episode to help you tame the perfectionism is that in some cases, the tendency to set unrealistically high standards for yourself and feeling dissatisfied or anxious, even paralyzed when you don't meet them, is that perfectionism often comes with harsh self-criticism or fear of failure and the belief that mistakes are unacceptable. And so instead of starting to move towards something that we want to achieve, we freeze and we don't get started at all. And then we disappoint ourselves because we will never actually get into action and accept that the fact of making failures can be part of the process. Now, I know we could talk a lot more about where the perfectionism is coming from. If you want to learn more about that, there is a post on the Who I Am Instagram page. But for now, let's dive into the 7 exercises that can help you tame and balance out perfectionism. For a brief moment, maybe close your eyes if you can, if you're not in the car driving right now. And take a deep breath in through your nose and then clear it out through your nose or mouth. Take another deep breath in, empty that cup and exhale, let it go, relax, soften the shoulders. Very nice. Okay. Let's start with number 1. Set good enough goals. And this one refers especially to setting goals that are high standard, but that are actually unrealistic to be achieved. So the aim with setting good enough goals really is to think about a maybe slightly smaller goal instead of the one that you would typically pick. And then pick that as a primary goal, which doesn't mean you can still move to the higher goal after that, but it's just more of a previous goal to be achieved. So just close your eyes and think of the goal that you have in mind, and then break it down. Make it a little bit smaller. What is a goal that you can achieve before the ultimate goal? So, for example, if you want to start a YouTube channel with any topic that is of interest for you and for the people that you want to reach, instead of thinking about the perfect concept, the perfect script, or even the perfect environment that you can be recording all these episodes that are going to be on your channel, perhaps think about putting yourself in front of your camera, set up a scene that you feel comfortable in, and start recording. And it doesn't even mean that you need to publish everything that you're recording right away, but it just means to get started, settle in front of the camera, talking. So your primary goal could really be to just record your first 3 episodes and then sit down and watch them yourself over and over and over. I truly mean that. That is something for you to just get comfortable with your own picture in front of the camera. Next off, you're not only going to watch them yourself, you're going to share them with 1 or 2 of your closest friends, business buddies, anyone in your system, as long as they are your cheerleaders. Radio. Number 2 is all about time boxing. Give yourself a set time to complete whatever it is that you want to complete, and then move on, even if it's not perfect. And this one is going to take a little bit of practice, so you might want to start with something smaller, not your ultimate goal. You might want to start with something that is a day-to-day thing. So it could be a work-related task that is not extremely important, or it could even be something as easy as folding your laundry. Just pick anything, set a time limit, get it done, and then move on. If you practice this over and over with smaller things, after a while you can move on to bigger goals or bigger tasks, and then just practice doing it within a certain time frame. And even if it's just 80%, you will move on. Number 3, and that is one I stumble upon so many times in my yoga classes. I see it in students, I see it in myself. It is the challenge to perfectionist thoughts. And so whenever you feel the urge to overanalyze something or to do something, ask yourself, is this really necessary? So the perfect example is that when we are going through a yoga flow or a yoga pose, oftentimes we tend to fidget. The aim is to stand still, to sit still, to just be with thoughts, especially in meditations as well. And then we start to put our thoughts to unnecessary moves, such as fixing our hair or fixing the shirt, the pants, whilst we could just be in that moment and be whole and complete just as we are right in this moment. And the same goes for overanalyzing stuff whilst you're sitting at the dinner table with your friends, having a good glass of wine and a beautiful dinner. Your mind starts to wander to whatever presentation you had that day or the to-do list that you have tomorrow, thinking about how you can get it all done in the small amount of time that you have because the to-do list is endless. And then you're missing out on being right there with your friends because your thoughts are just always somewhere else, trying to think a picture perfect that is not even necessary right now. Because all you need right now is to be there in this moment, soaking it all in, the fact that you're surrounded by people who love you, and just enjoy. So this is such a wonderful mindfulness practice at the same time, to just whenever you feel like it's coming up, it's arising, ask yourself, is this really necessary right now? Exercise number 4 is for all of you that are so afraid of making mistakes and that use perfectionism as a shield from making mistakes. And so this one is going to take a lot of practice as well, I'm not gonna lie. But same here, you can start with something really small and to deliberately do something imperfect, or in your mind imperfect, such as take out your journal and write a messy journal entry. And that could really mean to just start writing whatever comes to your mind, because as you're overthinking, I could assume that your thoughts sometimes might be really, really messy and chaotic and full of everything. So all you really got to do here is write down anything that comes to mind without finding the perfect opening, without finding the perfect order of words. Just write down whatever it is that comes to your mind. From here, you can move on to something bigger. Perhaps next time you want to cook a new recipe, you're just gonna roughly screen through the recipe, buy the ingredients that you need, and then start cooking without looking at the recipe. Just do it from your guts. And then trust that you have the ability to still get a meal on the table that is going to be super delicious, no matter what it's going to turn out. Just enjoy the fun of trying something new without the grip, without the need to do each and every step just exactly as the recipe says. Or perhaps you've got kids and it's time for baking with the kids. So obviously, when baking, you're trying to aim for an end result such as cookies or whatever it is that you're baking. Perhaps now, when baking with your kids, try and shift your thought from the end result to the process. And for kids, that really means just having fun, playing with dough or messing up with flour. And it doesn't, for them, it's not even important to have a cookie in the end that they can eat. For them, All that matters is the fun that they have in the baking process. So shift your thought to that child mindset of theirs. And alongside with that, let's move straight to number 5, which is practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with that kindness you'd show to a friend who made a mistake. Try to take away the self-criticism that comes along with the desire for high-quality results and just accept yourself as you are right now. Let's say a dear friend of yours approaches you and telling you about this big mistake that's just happened to them. Would you judge them? Honestly? Would you really judge them in the harsh way that you criticize and judge yourself so often? Put yourself into that perspective and gift yourself with a sense of kindness and love for the mistakes that are just part of the process to become the ultimate version of yourself. Next one, number 6, comes along with putting yourself out of your comfort zone and trying something new, which automatically means, can you really be perfect at something that you have never done before? Could be engaging in hobbies where mistakes are just natural, such as painting or dancing, and just approach that new hobby with a sense of curiosity to find out who you are. Do you have a natural talent in that, although you've never done it before, maybe? And along with that, there's going to be a pro tip, same as approaching it with curiosity. Try and approach this new activity with the aim of just having fun. The aim is not to be the best at it right away, maybe in the future, but for now, all you gotta want to do is have fun trying something new. And hell, who knows? Maybe you're gonna rock it. Maybe you're gonna be genius at it. Maybe you're gonna be amazingly good right from the start. But even if not, it doesn't matter. You will have, and with that, we already come to last number 7 of exercises to tame your perfectionism with, which is celebrate the small wins. Acknowledge the process rather than waiting for the perfection. Get started on whatever it is you want to do. And instead of focusing on the end result, enjoy the ride. Enjoy the journey. See it, every mistake, as part of the process, as part of your way to grow, to get out of your comfort zone. And trust me, as soon as you get started, you will be absolutely content and so proud of yourself for putting yourself out there and just getting started before you actually feel ready. Whew, that was quite a lot, wasn't it? Now again, take 2 really deep, full, nourishing breaths in through your nose and release out of your nose. One more time, just let it all sink. Now, of course, you don't need to get started with all of them right away again. It's not about perfectionism. Just pick 1 or 2 of those exercises that come in easy for you and practice. Just start practicing. It is all about just being 1% better each and every day. So thank you so much for pressing play on this episode, to staying curious. I send you all my love and light, and I can't wait to talk to you so soon.
And one more thing before you head off, if you have any questions or you would like to get in touch, learn more and grow more, please send me a message on whoiam.coach. You can find me on Instagram. I would absolutely love to get to know you and work with you. So see you there.